This conference will now be recorded.
Well, in the meantime, you have any questions for me?
Not really, because yesterday was the first intro
Yeah, yeah.
classes. I was just thinking like the overall job responsibilities of a BA. I was going through that online to
Mhm,
check how it is.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
You see
Yeah.
anything challenging in understanding?
Not really.
Okay,
Um,
good.
yeah, it would be entirely the work experience would entirely be different
Mhm.
than like each individual work experience would be different, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
So any tips apart from the regular courses for a business analyst?
Oh, yeah, I know as we progress, we will, you know, discuss on those things. And finally, at the end of the training, we'll also have a session on interview preparation. There,
Hmm.
we'll discuss on how to tackle or handle scenario-based questions. What kind of scenario-based questions can be asked?
Okay.
So we'll discuss that definitely.
So do business
Because
analysts need some of the technical, like the coding part also, or they don't need?
see, if you have coding knowledge, it's
Hmm.
advantageous,
Okay.
but it's not mandatory.
Okay.
It's not mandatory, but you will have a advantage, or
Hmm.
when compared to other business analysts, if you have coding experience, because you'll be able to relate faster to what the developers are talking, and
Hmm.
you can also talk in their terms. That is the only advantage, right?
Okay.
Yeah, you will definitely have an advantage, but
Okay.
you know it's not mandatory.
Okay. So since I'm from a non-IT background, I'm looking for a job change. So,
I understand.
like, how would it be really, and like
uh,
opportunities for entry level, how that would be?
yeah, you have plenty of opportunities definitely, and
Mhm.
it's not too tough also. But
Okay.
I would suggest along with BA,
Uh-huh.
have knowledge, or take up Scrum Master also.
Okay. Okay.
Scrum Master is little non-technical, right?
Okay.
So it's
Uh,
not technical. Scrum Master is more like a manager, so you can
Okay.
handle that also. That would
Mhm.
be really really good for your resume, having both BA and Scrum Master.
So it's like an additional thing along with this.
Yes, additional
Okay.
thing, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
No, in the upcoming 1 to 2 classes,
Hmm.
I will relate the Scrum Master or BA product owner. Then you will
Okay.
understand what I'm talking about. What I'm
Okay.
talking about. Okay. So Scrum Master is mostly totally non-technical role. Okay.
Okay.
But still part of the technical team. That's how it is. Maybe in next couple of classes you'll
Hmm.
understand that. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Uh,
Yeah.
See. Uh, hey Pooja. Pooja, can you hear us?
Hello.
Hey Pooja.
Hi.
Hey. Hey. Good evening. So
Good
I'm
evening.
Rajiv, and I'll be your trainer. Okay.
Okay.
So okay, this is first class, right? So um, yeah. Can you give a quick intro about yourself? What is your expectation of this training? We'll take it from there.
Yeah, actually, I'm working right now. I'm working, but I'm looking for a better job and better pay. So I just thought to do this course to get good
What are
opportunity
you
in
working
future.
as? What are you
I'm right
working
now
as?
working in a finance company.
Okay, as a
It's a mortgage lender
okay, okay, as a
as an analyst.
meaning IT analyst itself into the
No,
IT or
it's not an
non-IT?
IT. No, no, non-IT.
Non-IT. Okay, great. Okay,
Yeah.
sure, sure, Pooja. Okay, fine. Hey, okay, just give me a minute. I'll check with the team if the other student is joining, and then we'll give.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure.
Okay, okay. I just got an update that the student is not available for today, so let's get started.
Yeah, no
So,
problem.
fine. So,
So what are we going, how we are going to start today?
yeah, I'll share my screen. Give me a minute.
Sure.
We'll start with basics. We are not at started the course content actually. Okay,
Okay.
so let me share my screen. Now, okay, I have a different slide open. Give me a minute. Let me know once you're able to see my screen.
No, not yet. Yeah, I can see now.
Yeah, I'm able to see.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we'll start with the first module. This is a video of modules we'll be going through, by the way. We'll start with the first module. The first module is about trying to
Okay.
understand.
And yeah, and just one question. Are you going to send us these videos again?
You'll be getting the recording on a daily basis.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So to start with, let's try to understand why do we need agile, and why is it better when compared to traditional waterfall model? Okay, so we'll understand that, and then we'll go to the agile manifesto, where we'll learn about four values and 12 principles that's there in agile, and then we'll study about various variations that are there in agile methodologies. Okay,
Okay.
so Agile means not just about Scrum. Uh, Pooja, when I say Agile or Scrum, you understand that, right?
No, actually, this all is new for me. It's
Yeah.
totally new.
Okay, don't worry. So as we progress in next couple of classes, each and every term that I'm talking about now will be getting clearer. Okay,
Okay.
fine. So fine. We'll learn about variations in agile methodologies. Now let's see this picture. Have you come across this picture earlier? Any of you?
Yeah, when we were kid, we just saw something like that.
Oh, is it? Okay. Uh, are you able to recollect what it was about?
It's some swing. They put some chair. I don't know. Not sure.
Hmm, okay, sure. So now let's try take this and relate it to the BA thing. Okay. Now assume a customer comes and explains, hey, you know what? I need a swing. I need a swing
Okay.
tied to a branch of a tree. Let me make this whole screen. Yeah, I need a swing tied to a branch of a tree. And
Okay.
somehow he mentioned that he needs 3 layers.
Okay.
Okay. So this is how the customer explains in such a, because me explaining a customer explaining the way he or she explains would be different, but the expectation might be different, right? And
Okay.
the person listening might understand something else. Correct?
Okay.
So this is how the customer explains, saying that I need a swing tied to a branch of a tree having 3 layers. The project leader who is listening to the customer, trying to understand the requirement, understands in a way like, okay, the customer needs a swing tied to 2 different branches of a tree. Okay.
Okay.
When this requirement is passed on to the business analyst, then the business analyst understands, oh, looks like the customer needs a swing tied to 2 different branches of a tree, cutting through the main road, which is pathetic and unimaginable. Right? This is what the business analyst understands. When it
Okay.
goes to programming, when it goes to programming, the developer understands like, hey, okay, I think we only have to tie a swing to a main branch of a tree and leave it there. That's all, nothing
Okay.
more. This is what the programmers who will be coding it will be developing. Okay, while all this mess is happening, while all this mess is happening, the business consultant who will be working with the marketing team, who will be working to get more customers, who will be getting, who will be working in selling the product. They are being a big picture to the outside world, saying that, hey, you know what? We are building a swing with an amazing feature, amazing state of the art comfort, having a sofa on this swing. This is what the business consultant will be telling the outside world what will be coming, what will the product be in upcoming days. But the
Okay.
reality is this is what is happening, right? Now, how the project was documented. There was zero documentation. There is zero or no documentation at all, right? And then what operations team installed? The operations team who helps in installation and other things, they understand that okay, we just have to tie a rope there and leave it. As simple as that. That is what they
Okay.
understand. Okay. However, with all this mess, when it comes to billing the customer, when it comes to billing the customer is billed so high, as if a roller coaster itself was developed, right? This is how the customer was built, very high. Um, the customer will be like, what the hell is this? You're billing so much. But so the expectations will be high, right? So support wise, there's zero or pathetic support, and when you deliver, when you deliver this particular product to the customer will be like, hey, what the hell is this? This is not I wanted.
Okay.
I don't want this product. I spent I spent so much of time, around 6 months. I've spent so much of money, and you are giving me this product. This is not what I told I wanted. This
Okay.
is not what I told I wanted. Now he tells I wanted this. This is what the customer really wanted. A tire
O-
tied to a branch of a tree. This is what
Okay.
the customer wanted. Now, where do you think things went wrong, and how can we solve this
The
problem?
customer maybe did not explain properly, or the
Mhm.
project leader did not understand properly.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's there. That that problem we'll always have. But how we can solve this problem?
You need to ask more questions. When a customer is asking for something, you need to ask more
More
details.
information.
Agree,
Yeah.
agree, agree on that. What else?
Um, Maybe when you're documenting from what the customer needs, you need to
Mhm.
make a diagrammatic representation and show it to the customer.
Yeah, good
Maybe
point.
he will.
Good point. Good point. Actually, what else? What do you see the main loophole here?
It's just lack of communication.
Lack of communication. And why is that happening? That's because we are not engaging the customer regularly. The
Hmm.
customer comes at the
Yeah,
start, gives the requirements, goes vanishes.
Hmm.
He is again coming only at the end to see the
yeah,
product after six
yeah,
months.
yeah, right.
So there is a big surprise there for the customer,
Hmm.
right? So how can we solve this? We can solve this by involving the customer
Customer
very
in every step.
regularly. Yeah, very regularly. Involve the customer very regularly. That way, you know, even if you did not understand properly here, even if there is lack of understanding, in the first 1 or 2 months itself, sorry, 1 or 2 weeks itself, uh, things might get clearer. The
Yeah,
customer might be say something, and then you might say, no, 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 this is not I want. I want this. Simple things. You will sort out things. Correct.
got you. Yeah,
That is what agile is mostly about. Where you involve the customer end to end regularly, showcase whatever work is being done, showcase the work that is being done on a regular basis, take feedback, take feedback, and you know regularly and do things. That way, customer is happy, you are happy, and we are all confident that we are building the right product,
correct.
right?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that is the agile way of development. Agile way
Okay,
of development. However, whatever happened here, whatever we are seeing here, this is waterfall way of development. That is old way of development. Okay.
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 Yeah,
Now, any questions on this slide?
not really.
Good.
Yeah. Because the problem for customer is after 6 months, you give some product which doesn't make sense. There, the customer has lost the money. More than money, they have lost the time. If
Yeah,
they lost the time, then they have lost the competition.
yeah.
So, which
They won't
means
come back
they,
with us. Yeah,
they won't come back. Exactly.
yeah,
That customer is gone forever for you.
yeah.
That's the problem. Okay, fine. So now, with this in mind, I'll just open Google and show you how waterfall was. I just Google for waterfall model. Okay, yeah. Huh. So whatever I showed
Hmm.
that followed waterfall model. Like what happens is first the requirements are gathered from the customer, taken from the customer, and then based on the requirements, design is done. Design is done, and based on the design, by the way, requirements has to be baseline here, and then design has to be baseline. Once the design is baseline, then the team will develop it. It is implemented. Once it is developed, then it is tested. Once the testing is complete, then it is deployed or released to the market, and then maintenance. These are the typical flow that is followed in waterfall model. But the problem here is, as I was saying in the previous slide, the problem here is um, Assume, assume all the requirements are gathered, and then the design is done. Okay, this requirements gathering might take 1 month, design maybe 1 month. It's all baseline. Now during implementation, the customer comes and says, assume the customer is an Amazon customer. Customer would have told earlier, hey, you know what, when a new customer comes, he should be able to register by creating their own username and password. Okay, I think that was what told. Then after 1 month, they realize, hey, you know what, creating username and password, and every time user when they come back remembering that username and password is all little challenging. So I want login with Google, that is linking my Google account option. Can you build that? That change comes in. And when does it come? During the implementation phase. Now, because these changes come, the problem with waterfall model is you stop things, go back to the requirements, rewrite the requirements completely, get a sign off, redo the design, then come to development again, which means
Mm.
you are starting the cycle from the start again, which means
Mm.
you are losing a lot of time and effort. That is the problem with waterfall model. Okay,
Okay.
make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the problem with waterfall mode. However, in agile, we since we'll be talking to customers on a regular basis, we'll be talking about these things. Agile says we have to accommodate such changes quickly. Not that we stop everything, go back, rewrite the requirements, redo the requirements, baseline it, get a sign off, do things. So it's very, very process oriented, the waterfall model. So in this fast-paced world, this process-oriented model is not sustaining. That's the reason Agile came in.
Okay.
Excuse me, give me a minute. Okay. Any questions on this?
No.
So basically, the waterfall model is the traditional model, right?
Yes, waterfall model is a traditional model which was used, or even now it is actually used, but very, very less.
Okay.
85% or 90% of the organizations have already switched to Agile. Now you might
Okay.
ask, oh, when to use waterfall model? Why are 10% of the organizations still using waterfall model? You might
Mm-hmm.
ask that. That's because for the 10% of the organizations, the process is already set. It is like the same thing. It's a repeat task. There is no change.
Okay.
Then they will follow waterfall model. But if in software development, usually there are changes because you have to satisfy the customer. Correct? That's
Mm-hmm.
when agile comes into picture. But if there is some kind of a you know manufacturing industry where the process stays same, or like, yeah, in such cases waterfall model still stays good. They
Okay.
might still be following, right?
Okay.
Fine. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Any other questions?
No.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Okay. Pearl, any questions?
No, I'm good. No
Okay.
questions. Yeah.
Okay, fine, fine. We'll move on. Next is about Agile Manifesto. So here let's try to understand, the Agile Manifesto. Meaning, there, as I told earlier, we have certain values and principles that are defined. So let's go through that and try to understand one by one. So for that, I will start going to a link. Give me a minute. I'll open the link. I'll just put this in the chat window for your reference also. Okay, I'll just put it in the chat room. This is the Agile Manifesto where we have four values. These are the four values, and then we have 12 principles around the four values. Now these four values are really important, and this can be asked as part of the interview. Okay,
Okay.
so make sure you understand this clearly, and if any questions, do let me know. Okay, these are the four values. So first one is individuals and interactions over process and tools. So as I was mentioning earlier also, the interacting more with the customers, getting involved with the customers, no rather than sticking to the old process and the tools. Don't get into the loop of the process and tools. Rather than that, talk to the customers more, get things clarified, give more importance to the individuals, that is the customers or clients. Give more importance to them, interact more with them rather than sticking to the process and tools. That's the first point.
Okay.
Second point is working software over comprehensive documentation. This is about assume the customer gave the requirements. Now you start documenting things. You start documenting things, and assume after 2 months the customer comes and asks, "Hey, where are we on the development? Where are we in the development?" Then at that point, you cannot say that, "Hey, we are working on documentation of the requirements, and we have not yet started development," because the customer doesn't care for documentation. The customer cares for working software. Rather than
Okay.
showing the documentation, what if you would have spent these 2 months in developing one feature, at least developing the login page or registration page? The customer would have been happy to see that, right?
Yeah.
So, so for the customer, working software is what matters. So we have to give more importance to working software over the comprehensive documentation. What we are saying here is we are not telling don't do any documentation. We are saying do minimal documentation, not detailed documentation. Do minimal documentation. That should be enough, is what we are saying. Okay. Then customer collaboration or contract negotiation. Okay. Yeah. So this is like any project. Take any project. They'll have a contract. No doubt on that. Every project will have a contract. Absolutely. Right. But uh, even though there is a contract, still we need to collaborate with the customer, and based on the customer ask and need, maybe if required, we may have to tweak the contract. So because we need to collaborate with the customer, we need to retain the customer. If we have to do that, we need to tweak things, right? So the contract should be or should be able to tweak. So don't stick to contract and say, hey, you know what, this is not there as part of the contract, we'll not do it if there is a request coming from customer. So you cannot tell that. So you should able to collaborate. Like assume the same example I told earlier. A customer came back and told, I want an additional registration method where users should be able to register using the Google, register with Google or Facebook, whatever it is. No, that was not mentioned as part of the contract. But now the
Okay.
customer is asking. At this point, how you need to handle is you need to say that, okay, look, this is not there as part of the contract. We'll definitely do it. We'll do it. Let's do it. But it will take extra time of around 1 month. It will it will increase the budget by X number of dollars, and time by maybe 1 month. Or you tell me if you're ready to pay, we'll do it. Or you can deal it in a way, okay, descope something else. Tell me what I should drop to take this. So you talk to the customer. come to an agreement. That is, you collaborate with the customer, see how best to handle the situation, and then do it. Rather than upfront or upright telling, no, this is not there as part of contract, we won't do it. Right? That doesn't work. So talk to the customer and get this sorted. So that is customer collaboration or contract negotiation.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions so far?
No.
No.
No. Okay. Final one is responding to change or following a plan. Meaning, this is about, uh, yeah, we'll have a plan in place. If, of course, for every project, we'll have a plan in place. We should have a plan in place. But the thing is, we should be ready to respond to the change. We should be ready to respond to the changes that are coming in. Like, take this example of COVID itself. We all have plans on how to go about things for the next 2 years in 2020, right? So suddenly
Mm.
COVID came in. We
Yeah.
had to respond to change. Our plans were no more valid. Our plans were no
Yeah.
more valid,
Right.
right? So we all had to tweak and do changes and take things, right?
Yeah.
So on similar lines, when this COVID came in, uh, let's take an example like the C, no, the CNN news app.
Mhm.
Assume their requirement is to come up with a mobile app with the requirements like, hey, you know what, we need a mobile app with sections like breaking news, sports news, business news, various sections. But at that point, the need of the hour was COVID related news. Everyone were looking for, hey, what's the latest on the vaccine? Hey, what is the latest numbers in each country? What's the developments that's happening? Everyone were looking for that. But means we wanted a separate section for that. That was the need of the hour. But we had not
Mm.
planned for it. We had
Yeah.
not planned for it, right? So here, we have to, when that request comes from CNN, we have to respond to that change. Otherwise, what happens? People will uninstall CNN app and people might install any other news app like Fox News or whatever it is, right? Which means again, we are doing injustice to our customer,
Mm.
right? So that is responding to change over following the plan. So these are the four values that's there in Agile. Four values. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if you read this, it says while there is value in the items on the right, that is process and tools,
Mhm.
comprehensive documentation, contract negotiation, following plan. These items, while there is value on the items on the right, we value items on the left more, definitely, right? What does
Yeah.
that mean? We are saying, hey, we are not telling to have process and tools. We are telling have process and tools. But,
Value
you know,
individual instruction.
yeah, we give more importance or more value to individuals and interactions. Do the documentation, no problem. But it should be minimal documentation. Don't spend too much time on documentation. Focus more on, building the right software, working software, right? Focus more on software. No, have a contract. Of course, any project still should have contract. But no, collaborate more with the customer. That's more important. And have a plan. Definitely having a plan is important. But at the same time, you should be ready to tweak your plan based on the need and ask. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the no meaning of the statement. Well, there is value in the items on the right. We value items on the left more.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Fine. Any questions here on this four values?
No.
No.
Okay. So make sure you by heart this
Mhm.
because this will be your interview question, might be your interview question, and
Okay.
also you can relate this to a lot of things. Most of the scenario based questions will be related to this.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So as we progress, when we discuss, we'll come to know about it. Okay.
Okay.
So this is on the values, four values. Next is 12 principles that's there in Agile. So I don't think I can cover this 12 principles in the next 9 minutes, but let's see. Okay. So these are 12 principles, and these are mostly aligned to the four values. These are mostly aligned to the four values. Okay. So the first one says our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. Right. So yeah, what is our topmost priority? Satisfying the customer. How
Yeah.
can you satisfy a customer? Obviously through delivering something early and continuously. And what? A software which is delivering value. So this is how we can satisfy a customer. Right. Next is welcome changing requirements even late in development. Agile process harness change for the customer's competitive advantage. As I told in the previous during discussion of values, this makes sense, right? So we should be able to welcome the changing requirements. It can be even late in the development stage. So you know, because Agile says we should take up changes and so that our customer stays competitive in the market,
Mm-hmm.
right? They should have their competitive edge or advantage. They have to stay competitive. Next is deliver working software frequently from couple of weeks to couple of months with preference to shorter time scale. So no, this is about delivering small pieces or small chunks on a regular basis to the customer on a weekly or bi-weekly or at maximum a month once. Deliver some working software, right? Deliver some piece like okay, registration page
Mm-hmm.
of Amazon site, okay, payment page of Amazon site, some piece of working software very frequently so that the customer feels confident and happy, right? The shorter the time scale, the better it is.
Okay.
Next is business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project. Here, when we say business people, that's the business analyst, you. So you have to work closely with the developers on a daily basis throughout the project. Okay. Next is build projects around motivated individuals, give them the environment and support they need, and trust them to get the job done. This is actually not your responsibility. It's mostly the responsibility of the project manager or scrum master, where the team has to be kept motivated and all the tools and tools or the environment should be a good working environment should be there. And the trust should be built with team members. You cannot micromanage the team members, right? The trust should be built. This is what it is about. Any questions so far on the points? 5 points.
No,
No, I'm good.
Am I going fast or is it clear?
no, you're fine.
No, no.
Okay, fine. Next is the most efficient and effective method of conveying information to and within development team is face-to-face conversation. Meaning, try to have face-to-face conversations as much as possible. I know it is tough in this scenario, at least post-COVID. So, but try to have face-to-face conversations as much as possible. Video-enabled calls and things. Okay, that will actually tell what exactly you're trying to convey, right? So, yeah, try to have face-to-face conversations. Next is working software is a primary measure of progress, meaning you cannot tell 20% of the project is done when you do some documentation, right? You can tell 20% of the project is done only when you show the working software, right? That is how you can measure the progress. That is the only way progress is measured, when you are able to showcase the working software. Okay.
Yeah.
Next is agile process promotes sustainable development. The sponsors, developers, and users should be able to maintain a constant pace indefinitely, meaning the development that we are doing should go at a sustainable pace. Meaning, assume in the first 2 weeks you delivered one feature, in the next 2 weeks you delivered one feature, and after that 2 weeks you did not deliver anything. Maybe 2 weeks after that again you did not deliver anything. The customer would be little surprised. What's happening here? Why is there no delivery? right? So you have to maintain, you have to deliver something constantly, at a constant pace, at a constant frequency, right? That's about sustainable development, where we are moving things at a constant pace. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next is continuous attention to technical excellence and good design enhances agility, meaning staying updated in terms of technology, latest and being latest and greatest in terms of technology, making sure we are not outdated in terms of technology, right?
Mm-hmm.
We should be always using the latest technologies. Here, of course, you might not have much of a say, but then but our architects, the architect team, they are the good ones to tell this. But yeah, but our project should be using the latest technology and designs that's out there. Your design should not be outdated after 2 months. That is the point.
Okay.
Okay, right. Next is simplicity. The art of maximizing the amount of work not done is essential, meaning keeping things simple. And assume you have two tasks, task A and task B. Okay, task A and task B. Now, task A takes 10 days to complete it, and that contributes 20% to the project. Task B takes same 10 days, but it contributes only 10% to the project. Which one would you
Mm.
prefer or prioritize?
Task one
Yeah,
obviously.
exactly. So take the quick wins, simplified ones, which will actually, you'll be able to complete sooner. Okay,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
finally the best architecture requirements and design emerge from self-organizing teams, meaning the teams, as they work, they get matured. As they work, they get matured, which means they understand the architecture and things, and they will be the right people to provide suggestions. They will be the right people to suggest on architecture, suggest on requirements, suggest on designs. So the team should be self-organized, meaning they should be able to take decisions among themselves. Most probably. Okay.
Okay.
Finally, at regular intervals, the team reflects on how to become more effective, then tune and adjust its behavior accordingly. Meaning, this is called as retrospective meeting in Agile. I'll go in detail about it later as we progress. But this means you're delivering something to the customer every 2 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, after that delivery, after two weeks, as a team get together, discuss on practices. Hey, in these 2 weeks, what went well? How was the team collaboration? No, no, what did not go well? Okay, was the requirements clear or not? Or where can we improve? So such things, such practices would be discussed and so that try to fine tune so that if we are doing any mistakes, we'll not repeat it again. That's the
Okay.
intention. Okay.
Mm.
So these are the 12 principles that's there in Agile. So now, yeah, that's on the Agile Manifesto where we covered the 4 values and 12 principles. Any questions?
No.
No, but I have one question because I'm new in this field. I just want to
Mhm.
know what type of software, what type of clients, what type of work we get it. Just if you can give me one example to just understand.
So yeah, assume you are in healthcare industry. Okay,
Okay,
the kind of software that you might have to build is maybe a portal to manage patient data, patient details, or inflow or outflow of patients, billing,
okay,
and all those things for a hospital,
okay,
right?
okay,
That's one thing. Or take anything like e-commerce, build a website like Amazon, or build a software like WhatsApp. All these
okay.
things are software, softwares, right?
Yeah,
It really depends on which company you go to, which domain you will be.
okay. So we have to make a software as you have given the example for healthcare. So we have to
Yeah,
make a software in which they can put all the details together like that.
yes, absolutely.
Okay, got you.
Okay, sure. Any other questions?
No, not right now.
Okay, fine. Sure, then we'll stop here and we'll continue tomorrow. Is it fine?
Okay.
Fine.
Okay.
Sure then. Thank you. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.